All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is day 13 of paying my bills with dividends. My name is Joe McKiddish. I'm outside enjoying the beautiful weather in Idaho, smoking a fine cigar. Today I am smoking a H. Upman Banker. It's actually pretty great. I've got my cup of coffee and we're going to get into some investing. Before we get started with that, I'm going to kind of go over a couple things. That I had a few conversations with people this morning about business and investing and how those are tied together and how income is tied to investing. And this I can tell you, if you are not making enough money to invest at a substantial rate, you got to fix that equation. So I'm going to do some videos coming up, some lives where we'll get some people on with some questions on their particular situations, and I'll help you come up with some ideas on how to increase your income. But the two are tied together. There's two things that matter when it comes to investing. Number one is discipline. Well, three things: consistency. So you're doing it consistently. You're very disciplined with it. And number three is have enough money to do it. Right. So if you're broke, can't pay your bills, and you've got problems of that nature, investing is too much to think about. Right. You're like, okay, I just got to pay my bills, and that's all I can do. Well, that doesn't leave a lot of mental capacity and money capacity to invest. So we got to get that situation sorted out. So I'm going to help with that as much as I can. That is actually what I do on a daily for my day job, which I run Blue Collar Connect, and that's what we do. Is we help business owners increase their revenue, increase their profitability, hire great teams, and build amazing businesses. That's what I do, and I can help you with that. But today we're going to get into some investing, and I'm going to invest in my own money. If that's something you might be interested in, stick around. I'm going to go and share my screen, and we're going to get started. Well, before I get started on the strategy side of things, I'm going to say this: I'm not a financial advisor. I've been investing for about a little over 10 years now. It took me about 3 years to figure out how to get my bills paid with passive income. This is not my first time doing this. This is really coming from people asking me, "Hey Joe, if you had to do it over, how would you do it?" That's what this video is about: is me investing my own money in my own journey. Has nothing to do with your money and how you do things. If you plan on investing, you should definitely do your own research and research some things. I'm actually going to go over a couple things that worked and things that didn't work, and so you can kind of see the pros and cons of this style of investing, and why it might be up your alley or it may not be, but that's your decision, right? So do your own financial planning and plan out what your goals are and see if what fits in your strategy and that kind of thing. So all right, let's get into mine. So this is me playing with my own money. Obviously, you can watch me play with my money, and it might be entertaining, and it might not be entertaining. You might disagree with it, and that's totally fine with me. I really don't care whether you agree or disagree. But if you have some constructive ideas on how to invest, always share those in the comments, and I'm happy to respond to those as best I can. All right, so this says strategy number 7 because this is my 7th time in doing this. So some of them worked, some of them didn't work. Strategy number 6 actually got me free from all my bills, and I'm able to pay for my lifestyle passive income now. But this is the what, Joe? What would you do if you had it to do over scenario? So and we're going to go over that scenario here in some detail here. So these are my personal expenses I need to cover. Somebody asked me about my phone and internet, and all that is tied up into my business. So I don't pay that out of my personal bills just because I've got internet all over the place. I got phones all over the place, and all that's tied into one thing. So you're going to have to adjust this to your own bills if you're going to ever do a well snowball where you're tracking all your bills. You probably have different bills than me. And one guy's like, what about medical insurance? Don't have medical insurance either. So I personally, I think medical insurance is a scam. I'm able to negotiate all my medical bills with cash, and I have a brokerage account lined up so that I can pay my medical bills with dividends. So that's kind of how I do it. You can call that self-insured, although that doesn't technically meet the thing, but the description. But the reality is I don't deal with health insurance, and that's why you don't see it on this list, because I don't pay for that stuff. So all right. So car insurance and my renter's insurance, which is a sum total of $21 a month, is tied up into that car insurance. That's why there's not a separate line item for renter's insurance. I don't own, I rent, as you can see, and that allows me to build things into my cash flow better. I don't have these ever-changing expenses like homeowners do. So something breaks down in this house, not my problem, and I don't have to deal with figuring out how to get $20,000 for a new HVAC system or whatever. That is the property manager's deal. All right, so strategy here, we're going to build weekly payers. My goal is to average a 35% total return across all of them. Some of them won't be as high, some of them will be lower, but that's okay. It still meets the strategy as long as they total, and the total return of that net group of them reaches a 35% total return. And we're going to go over those today, and I'm going to show you which ones are rocking and which ones are sucking. So there are some that are sucking. All right, so the shares of weekly players will be bought evenly per number of shares. Dollar cost averaging will be used as the purchasing strategy. So I'm just going to buy one share at a time, and you'll see here in a minute that I've got an even number of shares across all of them. I'm going to invest $300 a day into the weekly payers, and then I will reinvest all the dividends back in until I've hit $400 a month, or about $100 a week. So once I've hit that, then I'm going to start adding in some monthly payers that are more stable. And I'm going to invest 50% of the distributions into those into the monthly payers, and then 50% back into the weeklies. What I found is with my strategy, if dollar cost averaging back into the weekly payers keeps me from having so much NAV erosion. So, NAV erosion is a thing, and it's a painful experience. So if you've invested back in, the last couple of years into Ulti or Maggie or some of those other ones and lost a bunch of money, sorry about that. That kind of sucks. But I did it too. I put some money in those, and I was like, I don't like these so much. kind of bad experience. But the ones that I've chosen, some of them are rocking and some of them are not. So we're going to go through why the ones are working, and why they're not. The ones that are not working are not working. All right. So margin will be used once the contract reached $2,000 in value, which it did on the 1st of April. So about 9 days ago, we reached that $2,000 account value, and I turned on margin, and I've been using it ever since. All right. The weekly payers, once they're at $400 a month, I'm going to also take that $300 a day, and I'm going to split it between the monthly and weekly payers. So in order for me to stay at that buying one of the weekly payers every single day, I'm definitely going to have to use margin to do that at the beginning. And then once I've reached the point where the dividends are big enough that they pay for one of the weeklies, every single day, then I'm going to start using margin to buy the monthlies the day before their EX date. So, it should speed up our process significantly doing that. All right, the monthly payers, the goal is to average a 10% total return. And then the monthly payers will pay my personal expenses. And you can see here how many days it's going to take to hit each one. So I'm on day 13. I haven't even started buying the monthlies yet. Once I do that, then, whatever day it is and when this gets paid, that's how many it'll be. So right now we're at day 13. And, it's funny because my son the other day, he was like, yeah, do you know what kind of a time commitment you committed yourself to and doing these videos? And I'm like, oh, I know. I'll be in it. We'll be here next year this time. But a lot of these bills are going to be getting paid by then. So it'll be fun. And this whole process will speed up significantly once the distributions start really piling in, which they're doing. So we're going to go over the distributions I got paid out today, and it's pretty exciting. All right. So here's my holdings. I'm not going to go into these in great detail, but I do have links to every single one of them. So you can kind of see here, by the way, the links to all this stuff, is in the description below. So, just jump in there and, get right into that. So, I don't know why my camera didn't move over in my controls, but, in the way. All right. So a couple things here is, I've got, some round hill funds, which some of them have been doing great and some of them have been sucking. At least one of them, PLTW, has been doing terrible just because of, I think it's the political pushback on Palantir is driving it, especially in the UK, because Palantir is heavily involved with the police, the government, military, that kind of thing. And, their software makes it easy for people to get tracked. And at least that's what the news articles I've read say. So that's kind of the pushback. And because of that and some other things, their share prices are dropping. It certainly isn't revenue because they're crushing it on that. All right. I've got Robinhood, HOW from Round Hill. I've got its Hood is the underlying. I got that because I'm using Robinhood for this particular program. So I thought it'd be fun to have it in here. Top W from Round Hill, which is their top weekly pay universe. They got a new strategy on that. We're going to see if that works. TSII and NBII. This one's been doing okay. This is one's been sucking, and we're going to go through that. I did add in a new one today. So the WMTI, which is the Walmart Rec Shares Growth and Income ETF. And I haven't bought any shares of it yet, but we're going to buy our very first one today. And we're going to add that in because today is the 13th, as you know, 13th day. And I only had 12 of these, and I believe in 13 is a lucky number. So I needed to add another one in so I'd have 13 because I was born on the 13th. So, and I was born on a Friday, the 13th, even better. So I love the number 13, and we're going to go with 13 of those weeklies, and we're going to see if it brings us any luck. I don't necessarily believe in luck, but it's still kind of fun to think about. All right, so the top alpha ones, which is TSYX and TDAX, I've got those. Those are newer funds. How they're going to perform long term, not sure. But I did come in here and adjust some of these numbers, and as you can see, those top alpha ones they're doing okay, but they're not near that 35% that I'm looking for. But we're going to keep them in there because I think long term they're going to do just fine. Chippy, which has been our winner on this stuff, has been doing great, and that one's in there. That's the only yield max fund I have in this list. I've got two more Round Hill funds, YETH and YBTC, and those are cryptocurrency, so is blocks. So I've got a lot of it's pretty tech heavy. I wanted to kind of balance this out. That's why I threw the Walmart one in there. I've got two broad market ones. Everything else is tech, it seems like, so or tech related. So I wanted to add in and even semiconductors. That's still tech in my opinion. So I want to add something in that's not tech just for fun, and that's why I put the Walmart one in there, and we'll see how it does. All right, so the monthly contenders, I did add a couple more in here. I just from the comments that people have been commenting stuff, I just have been adding them in. I didn't add the links in yet. I just went through the comments and pulled the ones out. So I'm going to research those and then put this in here. And then I will put in the dividend yield estimated in all of these probably today or tomorrow. So this will get filled in. And then once I do that, then I'm going to kind of pick the 13. I'm going to pick 13 of those. We're going to go 13 of those monthly payers here soon. So as soon as those dividends reach that $400 a month, we're going to need to make that decision pretty close before that. So that's where we're at on that. All right, dividend payouts. I'm up to $39.69 since we started this. Today I got paid on Chippy, TDAC, TSPI, YETH, and YBTC, and I'm pretty happy with all those payments. It's pretty good. I'm at a little under $40, and I'm not going to get paid again until Monday, so kind of bummer on that. But I don't have anything that pays on Friday currently, so that's kind of where we're at on that. But we will get paid on Monday, and so that'll be great. All right, let's get into some investing real quick, and I'm going to show you a couple things here. Well, there's my payouts from in Robinhood on those dividends. So I just come in here and I copy and paste those into this Excel sheet just so they're easy to look at. All right, now what's working and what's not working. So here's the positions I'm in. The portfolio is kind of trading flat today, which is kind of nice. Last few weeks have been a dang roller coaster. Red days, green days, boom, in dramatic fashion. Moving up and down every single day. So that's it's kind of nice to not have that going on for the time being. So I'm hopeful that it keeps trading up slightly or down slightly, but without these dramatic swings. All right, so what's been working? Here's my profit and loss on these. So you can see blocks is up 7.72%. BRK, this Berkshire B share. Robinhood gifted me that for, I guess somebody used my link down in the description below. And they gave me and signed up for the gold account. So they gave me $5. on in a Berkshire B share. I'm going to sell that and I'm going to use that $5. So anything I get from any of this, if YouTube gives me money somehow, or any of this kind of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and invest all of that into this account. So any way that I get money that's related to this thing, I'm just going to invest it right in here. So the Berkshire, that $5 Berkshire B share, I'm going to go ahead and sell that as soon as possible. I can't yet, but as soon as I can, I'm going to go ahead and sell it, and then I'll add that $5 into the mix. Chippy's been doing great. It's up 7.74%. HOW has been trading kind of flat, so it's at 0.27 up, so it's up. Maggie's up 2.535, and then I hated that I can't, just point at this thing. And NVII is up 3.86. Now here's what's been sucking. PLTW is down 16.2%. So that thing's been dropping like a stone. They got some bad press the last couple days. The whole market yesterday went up, and PLTR, the underlying, went down. So PLTW went down with it. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I just had to pour myself some more coffee because, looking at a down number that's 16.17% down kind of sucks, So we're in a dollar cost down with it and see if we can keep our pricing in check. If not, we may be whacking that thing. All right. So TDAX up, top W is up 5%. TSII, here's the other one that sucks. So there's the Tesla one, and Tesla's been sucking. So this one's been sucking. So they're tied to the underlying. So this one's down 7.5%, TSII. And then TSYX is up 3.72, YBTC up 1.55, and YETH is up 2.43. So doing good overall. And then stuff that's down today, HOW is down, $2.86, and the YETH is down 85 cents, which makes no sense to me because crypto's been doing good today. I wonder what Ethereum is doing. Let's go find out. All right, it's up, but YETH is down. Makes no sense. So, there must be something goofy going on with that. But YBTC is up, and so is blocks. So the other two crypto related things I have are up, and YETH is just not holding up. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go back to here, and let's grab this WMTI. I don't want to put my cigar down, so I don't want to use the keyboard to copy and paste or type anything. So that's why I'm going and highlighting stuff and, pasting things, because I like smoking a cigar and I don't like putting it down and picking it back up over and over. All right, so let's go. WMTI 27.57 is the current market price. And that is also the bid price. So I'm going to see if I can keep it down to 27.57 and see if we can get it for that. So, if that goes through, we should be good to go on buying that. So I'm going to move this guy over here. The controls making me nuts. It's always in the way. I'd love to get another tool, but I don't know. Loom is just solid. So it never has any problems. I'm sure there's better ones out there, and I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments, hey, try this tool. But if you do have something that's better than Loom for recording very simple videos like this, feel free to let me know, and I'll check it out. All right, so blocks. Let's go ahead and buy one of each of our other positions, and let's increase our position here. So, bid price is $14.45. Dang, green days are costing me money here. I'm dollar cost averaging up, which is not the direction I like to. So, and it looks like that one was filled. I don't know why they're not showing up in the recent orders list. Oh, it's because the WMTI is in there. Okay, there we go. Blocks. Let's go ahead and get one of Chippy going. And then my bid price is exactly at $60, and so is the current price. So we're just going to go $60. I don't think we're going to get any discounts. We might get a discount on HOW because it's on the way down. So we're going to go ahead and try to buy that cheaper. So the bid price is $22.79. Current price is $22.81. So it's not that big of a difference, but let's see if we can get it to go through at $22.79, save a couple more pennies. It's already down pretty significantly today. So, let's do Maggie. I don't know why it didn't pull the price right in for me, but we'll go ahead and put 45.55. That is the current bid price. And then quantity one, I don't know why it's not giving that to me, but let's do that. My fire just fell over behind me. I can feel it. It is hot. Holy heck, is it hot. All right. So let's do an increased position, NVII. See if we can get this one a little bit cheaper. The bid price is down a few cents below the ask price. So PLTW, we should be able to really get a discount on this thing. I'm like, should I buy it, sell it? Maybe that was the universe telling me I should sell the dang thing. So let's go one of those, and then 21.75. I don't like selling it when it's down, so I'm not going to, and I don't think it's going to stay down. I think this whole thing is a limited time run. That's financial advice. I have no idea what's going to happen, with the market, but it just seems to me that Palantir is too good of a company as far as their numbers and the size of the bids they're putting out and the size of the bids they're winning. I mean, they're winning jobs and winning projects that are massive. So and very profitable too. So that it's kind of interesting how people are with the letting their emotional state determine whether or not they buy companies when the fundamentals are good. All right, so let's see here. My bid price is $21.50 on that. So let's go $21.51 and see if we can get it to go through DAX. Top W. Limit price is $25.41. So let's see if we can get it to go through by a few cents cheaper there. TSII, again, this one we should be able to get this one at a discount, even though it is up today. It has been kind of sucking. So I imagine there's people out there just wanting to unload the thing. So let's see if we can get it for the current price, because the bid price is actually 1 cent above the current price, which is kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know. I'm not hearing any chimes on orders going through, and I'm not sure if it's just because the orders are not going through or my audio is not working. So we're going to find out on that. So TSYX, see if we can get that one a little bit cheaper. 2207, 193 is the current price. 2199 is the bid. So that's kind of interesting. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get it for the current price, but I want to put it in there, and we're going to see if it'll go through while we're doing some other stuff. All right, so YBTC. I'm going to go ahead and not get ashes on myself on that cigar. All right, so 21. That was a close one, by the way. 21.44 is the bid on that one. So let's go 21.45 and see if that one will go through. And then Yeth is down today, so we're just going to go ahead and increase our position on that one, do a limit, and see if that price will come in there. And then the bid price is $11.69, so see if we can get it for $11.70. All right, let's give all this a second. Let's start replacing WMTI. Let's go ahead and see if we can get these ones to roll through. Chippy. Man, this thing's way up, isn't it? So let's see if we can get these going. See if I can save myself a couple pennies on these things, but right now it's not looking so good on saving any money on yet another green day. So it's kind of costing me some bucks here. So that is the way that it goes. All right, let's go back to Yeth. We'll see if we can get that one to go through, because that one's on the down day. I should be able to at least get that to go through here. I like something to sell or something to buy. Maggie. Man, normally this has been going a lot faster. Even yesterday, which was a huge green day, these things kind of rocked through there eventually, but it is not happening today. These don't start going through, I'm going to start questioning whether the market's open or not. I had that happen one time where I was like kind of in the days. I must have done 2 orders on WMTI, so I'm going to cancel that one because I see the other one up here. I must have hit duplicate accidentally. But one time I was like, woke up and it was a holiday, and I forgot that it was a holiday. I get on, I put all my buy orders in, I'm ready to rock, and then I'm like, why is nothing going through? And it was a holiday. Yeah, I'm like, oh dang it. Um, I hate holidays for that reason. I don't like holidays because I don't get to trade, and that's why. So my son and I talk about this all the time. We're like, I hate holidays because we can't buy stocks. The bid prices on these are going up, so I'm gonna have to go track them down, and try and get on top of it. I'm way above bid price on some of these. So sometimes the bid price thing works great, and sometimes it doesn't work out in my favor so good. So I end up just buying them at the market rate. So don't like doing that, but sometimes that's the way it goes when you're buying these things. Sometimes you get stuck paying retail for it. So um, got one. Woo! The market is open. The market is open. All right. So the bid price on this thing is 2201. So let's see if we can get that one to go through. And as you can see, I mean, these things are the market is moving today. So now things are starting to go. Love that little chime. It's my favorite thing. I love that. That's one thing I love about this platform is that little chime when that order goes through. Gets me excited. Almost bought 2 of those. That would have been a mistake. To be honest, I didn't think the thing with Iran was going to hold. I thought they would violate the ceasefire by now, and we'd be back to bombing them, and then the stock market would tank again. But that did not happen. That's why I'm in here a little bit later today. I was like, am I missing something? Is are they actually playing along? I'm not really sure if they are, but we're going to find out. I used to work in the oil and gas industry, and I had to deal with some of those guys, and they were not pleasant to deal with in business. I can't even imagine what their government's like. So, um, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. And I think anybody who's come to the states that is Persian. I have a lot of Persian friends that escaped from that regime. They agree. So they're not pleasant people to deal with. So the people who are running the country, but we'll see if Trump can keep them in line, and if he does, the stock market should be green, significantly green, and he can focus his attention on what's happening here at home, and maybe fix some stuff. Who knows what he's going to do. That guy's unpredictable. Not that I have a problem with it, because unpredictable sometimes is good. Not so good for the stock market if you always want it to go up, though. If you like it going down on occasion, like I do, his volatile nature is pretty good for investing. So it's been solid for me since he got in office. He's made me a lot of money by saying funny things on social media. One post, he can affect the whole market. It's kind of interesting. Tells you how powerful words are. One post, one comment, boom, market drops. All right, so we got all our orders in. I got my one share of the Walmart one. What I'm going to do with that Walmart one to kind of catch us up on that is on red days and only red days, I'm going to buy 2 shares of that. So until we're even Steven on the 14, the number of shares I have with the other ones. So until then, today I consider a green day, even though the Walmart one went down 4 cents since I bought it. But everything else seems to be pretty green here. HOW, PLTW, and YETH being the exception, but everything else is ripping. So today is not a good day for me to go try and catch that thing up, I don't think. All right, so let's go into Snowball Analytics here. Let's do a quick sync. So as of yesterday, I was at $1,521.91 in annual in dividend income. And let's see if we can get that number up here. Let's do a little sync. All right, pulled it all in. We're going to go ahead and close that. We'll do a refresh and see where we're at now. I don't think that Walmart thing is going to affect it significantly, but we're at $1,645.17. So, people, we are officially 1/3 of the way to our $400 a month. Because is that right? Yeah, it's 1/3. So this is going faster, and I'm going to show you a couple things here. Number one, my total profit's up significantly here. The dividends have a lot to do with that, because I've gotten like $40 in dividends. So that plays a part in it. But, the stock prices are up too, other than, you guessed it, the Walmart one went down since I bought it, but that's okay. Everything, I think it'll all even itself out. That's why I dollar cost average the way that I do. And Palantir is showing that even dollar cost averaging can't keep up with huge drops. So if they're small drops, over time, it's easy to keep up with them on the way down. But if you have big, huge, like 16% drops in a very short period of time, it's hard to keep up with them, even dollar cost averaging. So, but we will see what my dollar cost averaging did. Let's go back to Robinhood real quick. So when I brought it, I can't remember what the percentage was, but I think it was like a little over 16% is what I was down. I'd have to go back and look at the video, earlier, but I'm at 14.77% down on PLTW, which would terrify most people. But I'm not here for the share price appreciation. I'm here for the income. And so far, PLTW, since I've owned it, which I own it in another portfolio as well, has done just fine. So as far as income is concerned, now the share price appreciation has been absolute trash, but that's okay as long as the income makes up for the losses, which I think it will, because we're in the dollar cost average down with this thing, and we'll get it down tomorrow. More, and the next day more, and the next day more, and then the dividend payouts are perfectly fine. So let's go back to our financial freedom thing. So PLTW is still paying 45% return, and I bet it's even higher with the drop today. Let's go to Snowball and check it out. So let's go over to my holdings real quick. Normally I go to the dividend calendar next, but PLTW, let's go ahead and click on that. Yeah, see with the price drop, it shows 51% return. Yesterday when the price was higher, it was at 45%. So I still think that it's going to pay out just fine. Share price is obviously absolute trash. My total profit in it is down $51.66. Capital gain is the bulk of that. I mean, the loss is it's hard to overcome, even with the $3.36 in dividends that I've received in the last couple weeks. But we're going to see what this looks like going forward with dollar cost averaging. So you get to see it both ways. You get to see the ups and downs. You got up, down. What do we do with each one of those? We just do the same strategy, which is dollar cost average into them, and see if that keeps us in a position where we can hold it and not lose all of our money. So we're going to find out if that's the case with that PLTW or not. All right, so let's go back to Snowball here. Go to my dividend calendar real quick. As you can see, I'm up to $135 a month. And and that equals out to $4.45 a day on average, and my yield is still right around that, holding around that 36% mark. So today, it doesn't show how much I made, but it was a little over $10. And then prediction after our buys today, almost $5 on Monday, $6 on Tuesday, $8 on Wednesday, and almost $13 on Thursday, which all of those numbers outside of the Monday ones will go up because tomorrow is the EX date for these. So I can't increase my dividends on that day anymore, but I will be able to do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays next week with our buys tomorrow. So we're dramatically increasing week to week. Went from $3.33 to $6.22 to $8. And going forward, every week is just going to increase, and then because we're reinvesting the dividends, it's just solid, right? And so let's see what we went into on margin debt. So we're down $184 in we're using $184 in margin, which Robinhood gives me that first $1,000 in margin at no interest. So I'm well below that $1,000, and I'm way in the safe zone. Actually, I'll show you something cool in Robinhood. So in here, there is the margin available. So I'm going to click on details here, and it'll tell you if you're getting in the unsafe zone on your margin. So I'm at low risk right now. My portfolio value is $4,323.55. And then of that, I've invested $4,200. So you can see the increase in share price plus the dividends that have come into it. And so the total maintenance requirement on here is that. So I need my account valued and never drop below that, or I'm going to get a margin call. So I make sure that I always have a pretty decent buffer in here, and I'm not too worried about it. So margin used, I've used $184. I do have $4,126 in available margin if I wanted to, which I don't because I'm not crazy. And but I do have an annual fee of 5%, but the first 1,000 is interest free. So that $184 is going to fit in there. And based on how conservative I am with margin, it's going to be a while before I'm using that full $1,000. Obviously, that would speed up this process significantly if I did use that full $1,000, but I don't like doing that this early in the portfolio size. So I'm only at a $4,000, a little over $4,000 in portfolio value. I don't like using that much margin. I usually never go above 20%, unless Trump says today's a good day to buy, and the whole stock market, I know the stock market's going to go up the next day, which he did last April. I did go into pretty heavy into danger zone on margin last year, but that's the only time I've ever done it. So outside of that, I like to stay pretty safe, in my margin. But this is cool. I like the way that this looks. All the rates in here. So they've got different rates. So as my portfolio value increases, I can actually get the margin even cheaper than 5%. So as the amount I borrowed goes up. So I probably, with this account, before I hit that $8,580 or however much it is that I need to, do I have it right this time? $8,580 that I need to hit. Whether I'm going to hit 50,000 in margin at some point in there, I don't think I will, but I might. We're going to find out. So, if I get these margin rates, if I borrow more, my rate actually goes down. So that's good stuff. So, but for now, we're just using the free one, which is good, clean living, because I'm basically churning it every single day. I'm just turning it. So, all right. So back to Snowball real quick. Let's go into a couple things here. One is my dashboard. So one thing I want to look at is the top gains and losers. I like to come in here usually first thing in the morning and go, what's having problems and what's growing super fast. And this PLTW has been on this list more often than not. So HOW is down very slightly. YETH is down very slightly. TSYX is down very slightly, but everything else is doing just fine over here. But PLTW is the dragger. So if we didn't have PLTW, this whole portfolio would look even better. But that's okay. Not everything's a winner. All right, so let's go over to our goals. So my goal is to try and get this done in less than 3 years. I did put the $8,580 in here. And so annualized over 12 months, that's 102,996 $102,960 is what that is. And so it still says it's achievable in 3 years, which is how fast I did it last time. Even without these weekly pairs and without margin, I did it in 3 years. So I think that using the weekly pairs plus margin is going to speed this up. But I don't know if that's going to be the answer or not. But we're going to find out together whether that's true. But I like coming and looking at this and seeing where I'm at. So see what my goals are and what I'm doing here. So in March, I made $6.70. I'm already up to 22 in April, and I'll far exceed that by the end of the month. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. Pretty exciting stuff. And I'm gonna book that live out for a few weeks from now or a couple weeks from now on increasing income. So not passive income, but active income that you can invest. I'm going to do a whiteboard session. I'm going to figure out the tech behind that, see if this camera will do it. I'm not sure. But theoretically, this camera has a whiteboard thing where it'll actually go over. I'll be able to show you my whiteboard and we'll be able to draw it out. But, start thinking of questions you might have there. And if you're interested, put in the comments that you're interested in doing that live, and I'll get that booked out, and then I'll send it out to everybody. I'll post it on here. So if you're subscribed, you should get notified that I'm going to do that live, and I'll get that out and post it out for a couple weeks just so that you can plan on it. All right, that's what I got for y'all today. Have a great day of investing. Enjoy springtime and make some more money. And we'll talk to y'all soon.